Live, ESPN Baton Rouge.
From the Jamborees to the Superdome,
Your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. I am Cade Wazan along with Coach Jimmy Roy and Todd Black. We got Ryan Kennedy producing our audio tonight. Taylor Sharp on the video. We got Skip. We got Reese. We got Will. We got to cast the thousands behind the scenes.
But they're all full.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for dead gum sure, because I went in there to get some of this.
They left you out again, Coach?
Walk on, hooked us up.
Sliders, boneless chicken tenders, and
Loaded
cheese
fries.
fries.
I appreciate
Loaded
y'all.
up.
Thank y'all.
Cheese, bacon, banana peppers. What you want. They got it. And as you can see on our television, that we took care of it.
Well, it's a good thing Will and Reese tore it up because I think all three of us could use it not to eat as much. So they looking out for us, Todd.
They are. That's
what
very
it is.
nice of them. But as always, great food, consistent. You just can't go wrong with walk-ons.
We appreciate their partnership, and we look forward to spending some time each Sunday this football season for Louisiana Prep Weekly. Lots of great football tonight in Week 6. We got a couple of upsets, got a couple of surprises, and we're going to speak, as always, to a couple of victorious head football coaches in just a bit. But let's get you caught up first and foremost on scores from around the state, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Woodlawn over Dutchtown tonight, 27-14. Central 34, Denham Springs 7. U-High a 42-6 winner over Bruley. Liberty a 21-14 winner over St. Michael. Zachary defeats Live Oak 54-21. Southern Lab shuts out Faraday 49-0. Lutcher all over St. James tonight 41-19. And Scotlandville and Walker still in progress.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Benton and Captain Shreve still in progress. General Trask all over Delhi Charter 62-6. Manny shuts out Winfield 50-0. Sterlington 28-12 winner over Union Parish. West Monroe 28, Alexandria Senior High 14. Ouachita 20, West Ouachita 7. Oak Grove a 47-14 winner over Delhi. And Ruston shuts out Pineville 41-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Southside over Sulphur tonight, 34-21. Barb a 49-35 winner over Sam Houston. St. Thomas More and Westgate are still in progress. Karen Crow a shootout 60-30 over Turlings. Sacred Heart 36, Catholic Point Capite 12. Grand Lake over Oberlin 27-20. Notre Dame over Welsh 47-7. And St. Martinville, field goal better than Abbeville, 27-14.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Metairie Park Country Day, 49. St. Martin's, 26. Brother Martin, a 45-14 winner over Archbishop Rummel. Destrehan shuts out Central Lafourche, 49-0. Edie White blanks Donaldsonville, 41-0. John Curtis, a 37-16 winner over Shaw. Hanville shuts out Thibodeau 31-0. De La Salle and Landry Walker play tomorrow at 2. And Edna Carr and Warren Easton tomorrow night at 7:30.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
North Shore 41-20 winner over Fontainebleau. St. Paul 35, Covington 14. Mandeville and Ponchatoula still in progress. St. Charles shuts out Lakeshore 22-0. West Feliciana and St. Thomas Aquinas are still in progress. Archbishop Hannon 40, North Lake Christian 7. Kentwood a 41-6 winner over Independence, and Slidell and Hammond still in progress.
Thanks so much to Skip and Reese and Will and everyone behind the scenes. Charlie working from long distance, helping us get our scores here on this week 6 in the prep football season. And we're now going to jump right to the GMFS Mortgage Hotline and we're joining a victorious head coach, victorious for the 600th time, his 600th win. Coach J.T. Curtis getting the win tonight. His Patriots getting the win tonight over Shaw. Coach, congratulations, and really genuinely appreciate a couple minutes of your time tonight.
Well, it was obviously an awfully good win, but, there's so much credit goes to those kids that were a part of this going all the way back to 1969 and 1970 that laid the groundwork for where we are tonight. And the way our team played tonight, I was really pleased with that. Got a chance to get a lot of kids, a lot of experience in the second half. So it worked out really well.
Coach, this is Todd Black. I had the pleasure of seeing some video on Facebook of your grandson, Jackson, and I'm just wondering if you're going to be there coaching him for Win 700. He looks like he can handle the option pretty good.
I tell you what, he is a tough little kid, and he has been around football camp for a long time, and you're right. He came out there and read that outside veer and got it in the end zone, and he was a proud young man.
Well, Coach, going back to 1969, you didn't win a game. You scored 12 points on the season. Next year, you start winning a little bit and get on a little roll. You get 6 shutouts. You win a state championship in 75, the first of 26, if I'm not mistaken. Just take us back in a little time and what your philosophy was and what your beliefs were.
Well, we always felt like that hard work, commitment, not only from the coaches but from the players, that they would permeate one to the other. We did a really good job early on in getting our kids to understand that it wasn't what you did on the field in September, but it's what you did in the weight room and what you did in the off season in January and February and March that allowed you to progress as a player. And I really think that one of the keys to our success is that our kids are really into the off-season program. The lifting, the running, the commitment after school when other kids are going home, they are young men that are willing to stay and do the work that needs to be done, and it pays off for you in September.
Coach, you and I were talking today about you being one of the first ones to buy into a true weight program in off season, and how much is the success you've had because of that. Tell everybody the story you told me today about how you started your weight program and what made you start it.
I was very fortunate, and I just think that football coaches and coaches in general have such influence in the lives of people. And I was fortunate to play for a guy named Frank Boyles, University of Arkansas, and he was a guy that was ahead of his time. And so he introduced a weight program, isometric weight program that we used at Arkansas. And when I came to John Curtis in that first year, in that first off season and through that summer, we knew we had to get a weight program going. And to be honest with you, we had just the regular old barbell weights. We didn't have any Olympic weights, and I didn't have a lot of weight. And so I went out to a junkyard and bought some flywheels. And we labeled them 31.5 pounds, 37 pounds, 36 pounds. But the interesting thing was the kids lifted them. I didn't tell you this story today, but you're talking 1969, 1970, and some people at that time still didn't believe in weights. And I had a dad that didn't want his son to lift. He said, I don't want my boy to lift. I think that's bad for him. So I said, okay. I said, I'll put him into a push-up routine, and I got him into a push-up routine. And, he was repping out 50, 60 push-ups pretty well. And so I said, you know what? Let me put this weight on your back, Alan. Never thinking that it was a flywheel that had all those grooves in it. And when the poor kid got up doing his push-ups, he had this impression of the flywheel all across his back. and the coach looked at me, and I looked at him, and I just said, shh, don't say anything to anybody.
Struma was the first. Struma was probably the first one back in the 50s with Billy Cannon, my grandpa, and all those back then. And John Curtis was probably the next one to really buy into the weight program. in high school.
We weren't far behind him. And I told you today, I had such admiration for Alvin Roy and what he did and how he introduced how weightlifting was not muscle bounded, and that was the stuff you had to deal with. It's going to tie your muscles up and you get muscle bound and you wouldn't be able to run or wouldn't be able to be an effective player. But he was a leader in the weightlifting community, and we are using all of that still today. The things that he implemented back in the 50s are still being used today and used extremely well.
We're speaking with John Curtis, head football coach JT Curtis here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. Coach, over the course of your career, there's been so many things over the decades that have been, I guess, avenues where players' attention can be diverted. We know certainly over the last 20, 30 years what social media has done, things that just can capture their attention. Yet you've always been able to get the most out of your players, reading quotes from former players and assistants that'll run through a wall for you. What's been, I guess, the overriding theme as to why you've been able to connect with players, through different eras?
I think there are a couple of things. Listen, I get the question all the time, how different are players today than they were 30 years ago, 40 years ago? To be very honest with you, they're not different. Their needs, their wants, look, they want to know that you love them. They want to know that you're going to discipline them, and they want to know that you're going to teach them and that all of that means you care about them. And I think that that's a key. I think players need to know you genuinely care about them, not just as a football player, but as a person. And, I'm fortunate to teach at a school that emphasizes moral and ethical values and relationship to God through Christ, and all those things, I think, permeate into the program and have kids understand that we care about them, genuinely care about them. And when you put that combination together, they'll go through a wall for you. And I'm really proud that our guys have done that through the years.
Well, Coach, we know you got a busy night getting prepared for your show, but we wanted to reach out to you. 600 wins. Wow, what unbelievable. And hopefully there are plenty more. And John McKissick, 621 wins out of South Carolina is all time. This puts JT at number 2. And we hope to have you on when you get 622 also, Coach, because I know it's coming.
If that's the deal, the good Lord grants that, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Absolutely.
Coach,
Thank
we
you,
really
Coach.
appreciate your time so much.
All right, buddy. Good night.
There you go, head coach JT Curtis from John Curtis. He that last answer, I didn't know necessarily what we're going to get, but it really does sum it up real well.
Well, I've always felt like the more you build a relationship with kids, obviously he's more experienced, but the more you build that relationship, the more you can push them. And because they trust you. And he probably summed it up a lot better than I did. I think Jimmy feels the same way. And I don't think you can just coach kids to coach them. I think you have to get involved with what they do after school, how their grades are, how their family is. I think you got to commit as a coach all the way.
And the big thing he brought up was caring about the kid. He mentioned loving the kids. That they got to know that you love them. And if they know that you care, they will go through that wall for you. And I'm sure now he's coaching a lot of players, kids, and grandkids that by now, and they know what to expect coming through that program year after year after year, that they're going to tell those stories, and those things are the same today as they were in 1969. And his offense has never changed. Defense probably hasn't changed much.
He's probably got some better weights now.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit better.
You think about the weight staff that's been there. Joe Danos played there. He's with the New York Giants now, I think. Vic Valor, was at Florida State, LSU, and now he's at Baylor. Scott Cochran from Alabama, now he's at Georgia. And then, of course, Tommy Moffitt, who guided all those people under Gail Hatch.
Did he know the relationship with you until you told him with
No.
Coach Roy? I don't know what to call him, Alvin. That's
he didn't. And we just got to talking because I know Tommy Moffitt really well, and I know Vic Valor and Joe Danos and all them. All them guys came up under Coach Hatch, Gail Hatch, who was a legend. And Gail Hatch came up under my grandpa. So I just asked him in our conversation today, when did he implement strength training? Because I knew how good it was down there. And it just led from one part of it to, and he brought up that Alvin Roy was the godfather of strength coaches.
Oh, okay.
And I said, well, that was my grandpa, and it just kind of led like that. And
awesome, man. Awesome.
It was really cool. But when he was talking about going to stores or
a junkyard
and getting parts to lift weights with, because he said we had no money. We didn't have a budget.
And you think outside the box to get what you need to get. It kind of tells you the mentality he has to be able to win.
Right.
He's going to go at all lengths to be able to do it.
Unbelievable.
Good job, Jimmy.
600 wins for Coach JT Curtis. We'll take a timeout. When we get back, more of the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family-owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
The Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Thanks again to Coach J.T. Curtis for a couple of minutes of his time, celebrating win number 600 in his career. Patriots get the win tonight over Shaw. Let's get caught up on a couple of scores. We'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Woodlawn, a 27-14 winner over Dutchtown. Central of Baton Rouge, 34. Denham Springs, 7. U-High all over Bruley tonight, 42-6. Liberty, a 21-14 winner over St. Michael. Zachary, a 54-21 winner over Live Oak. Southern Lab shuts out Faraday, 49-0. Lutcher, 41-19 winner over St. James. And Scotlandville, 46. Walker, 34.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Benton and Captain Shreve are still in progress. General Trask, 62. Delhi Charter, 6. Manny shuts out Winfield, 50-0. Sterlington, 28. Union Parish, 12. West Monroe, 28. Alexandria, 14. Ouachita, 20. West Ouachita, 7. Oak Grove defeats Delhi 47-14, and Ruston shuts out Pineville 41-0.
Thank you, Skip. Efforting a couple of coaches here, Victoria's head coaches in this week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy looking over a couple of scores that are of note for us here in the Baton Rouge area, the greater Baton Rouge area. Boy, a big night, and we're trying to get head coach Dwayne Jenkins on here tonight as well. Lutcher, their man under center, had a huge night as they took down St. James in that classic.
I think this is the first game in a while for Lutcher that it kind of makes you say, all right, are they back? And it's Coach Valdez and his team's always well prepared for them to go over there and win that game that significant. It's definitely making a statement, to say the least.
Yeah, Lutcher could be back. And Dwayne Winfield, obviously, he's a big human being for a quarterback and what Coach likes to do with, Dwayne's been known to throw it all around, and has been a very good quarterback coach, but he utilizes his skills of whoever he has to determine what he's going to do offensively. He's very versatile, and he's doing a good job.
And last year we talked about it because I think there was a game he was on. He threw the ball like 4 times, and I asked him, did you really want to throw it? Yeah. He's like, it was killing me to throw it. But he knew that he had to run the football to be able to have success. Give you a real quick shout-out to the Prairieville Broncos, Ethan Odom and head coach Jordan Hampton. They play in the morning at 8 o'clock over at Dutchtown.
Other scores of note here in the Baton Rouge area. It was a win for Liberty over St. Michael, 21-14. First chance that I had to see one of the top running backs in the state in Caleb Jackson, and he was very strong tonight. But I tell you what, a shout out to our student athlete of the week, Nick Johnson, who had some real tough runs. And Jimmy was commenting at the way Coach Leger and the Warriors finished that game, got in the end zone, got a score, and you can look at it and say, is it insignificant? You're running the clock out. But the way they finished, it was really a tight ball game. Probably the score doesn't indicate how close that game was and the progress St. Michael is making.
Yeah, it was over a 99-yard drive. It's going to go down as a 99-yard drive for St. Michael's at the end. Yeah. But the thing was, you're trying to instill something in your team and never quit. Mm-hmm. Continue to fight. You got a chance to work a 2-minute offense. Hey, we got to go 99 yards to win this game. They've been there. They've done that now. I was very impressed with St. Michael's last drive of the game. I know it didn't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, but in the big picture, right. It means a whole heck of a lot.
And I told you, I said, I think that says a lot about what those kids think of Coach Leger and their coaches because, it's a fight. It's a grind that you got going on in your heart that keeps you going, and there's so many teams or so many kids that would lay down at that particular point. Don't ever give up, and that's the mentality that St. Michael had tonight against Liberty, and you have to be, proud of them as well. I saw Barb won by 14 over Sam Houston, so that's a big win for them.
Barb has a receiver that's one of the – I think he's maybe leading the state. Kay, do you have some stats over there for Barb?
Yeah, check that out.
He's one of the top 2 in the state in receiving. So, you know, Barb's coming back from a terrible situation last year. I saw a picture on Twitter actually this week. They were just starting to put up lights over there at Barb High School. So
that's a year. Those guys down in South Terrebonne, South Lafourche.
Yeah, and speaking of Lutcher, you know, we're going to try to get Dwayne Jenkins on too. Maybe Ryan can try to call him. Can't get either one of them. Okay. They're talking about having to play some of their games in the daytime right now.
Jamal
in the
Levi?
afternoons. Maybe.
Yeah, coming into this contest, Levi for Barb had 37 receptions, 964 yards, 12 touchdowns.
That's leading the state, right?
Yes.
Or second. Yeah.
That's correct.
So, yeah.
A pair of undefeated teams playing tonight. U-High gets the win over Bruley. But look, Coach Schuler plays in a real tough district, and they've made some considerable strides over the last couple of seasons, and will continue to do so. But another nice win over there for the Cubs as far as undefeated teams go.
Sets up the. You're about to go ahead.
7-0 at halftime.
Yeah,
it was a 7-0 ball game, and then U-High got away in the third quarter from Bruley with I think U-High scored 4 touchdowns, had an onside kick and a pooch kick that Bruley didn't cover. But defensively going into the game, they were only allowing 9.8 points a game. Bruley was. They had back-to-back shutouts. I think the biggest thing was they haven't played the strength of schedule that U-High had. U-High had played Central, Woodlawn, Dunham, which were all some good teams, and their defense also has been outstanding. They're only allowing 4.2 going into tonight, and they had 3 straight shutouts. So when I saw the score 7-0 at halftime, I'm like, ooh, this is turning into a defensive shutout.
Well, I thought you were about to say that sets up the Madison Prep U-High game next week, which ought to be a really big one.
And something to mention, not right in the vicinity of the Baton Rouge area, but Donaldsonville gets their first loss of the season. A real good defense from Edie White. Troy LaBeouf was certainly praising the Cardinals' defense. I believe that was a shutout, but Edie White over Donaldsonville tonight.
Edie White's defense has not allowed a point in 4 games. They've only given up 12 points in the 3 games they've played.
Right.
And Donaldsonville came in averaging 45. So for them to shut out Donaldsonville like that tonight, that is a big win for E.D. White.
That is really big.
All right, more to get to here in this week's 6th edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. We'll take a time out, and we'll work on getting a couple of coaches on and more scores as well. This is the week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it. but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more,
the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Working on getting a couple of coaches lined up. But let's first get you caught up on scores as we seem to have a pretty good scoreboard from around the state. Starting first with the Capital City.
The Capital City Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Woodlawn 27, Dutchtown 14, Central 34, Denham Springs 7, U High at 42-6 win over Bruley, Liberty 21-14 win over St. Michael, Zachary all over Live Oak 54-21, Southern Lab shuts out Faraday 49-0, Lutcher all over St. James 41-19, and Scotlandville over Walker 46-34.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Captain Shreve a 48-35 win over Benton. General Trask over Delhi Charter 62-6. Manny shuts out Winfield 50-0. Sterlington 28, Union Parish 12. West Monroe over Alexandria 28-14. Ouachita, the winner over West Ouachita 20-7. Oak Grove 47, Delhi 14, and Ruston shuts out Pineville 41-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Southside over Sulphur 34-21. Barb a 49-35 winner over Sam Houston. Westgate defeats St. Thomas More 41-13. Karen Crow 60, Turlings Catholic 30. Sacred Heart a 36-12 winner over Catholic Point Capee. Grand Lake touchdown better than Oberlin 27-20. Notre Dame 47, Welsh 7. And St. Martinville 27, Abbeville 24.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Metairie Park Country Day 49, St. Martin's 26. Brother Martin 45, Archbishop Rummel 14. Destrehan shuts out Central Lafourche 49-0. Edie White blanks Donaldsonville 41-0. John Curtis 37-16 winner over Archbishop Shaw. Hanville blanks Thibodaux 31-0. De La Salle and Landry Walker play tomorrow at 2. And Edna Carr and Warren Easton play tomorrow night at 7:30.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
North Shore over Fontainebleau 41-20. St. Paul's defeats Covington 35-14. Ponchatoula 37-21 winner over Mandeville. St. Charles blanks Lakeshore 22-0. Westfeld and St. Thomas Aquinas still in progress. Archbishop Hannon 40. North Lake Christian 7. Kentwood a 41-6 winner over Independence. And Slidell 34. Hammond 28.
Thanks so much to Skip getting our scores tonight, along with Reese and Will and the gang. Ryan Kennedy producing our audio, and Taylor Sharp on video. Let's go into the GMFS Mortgage Hotline, where we are joined by a victorious head coach of the Woodlawn Panthers. They get the win tonight over Dutchtown. Coach Marcus Randall is our guest. Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks so much for spending a couple minutes with us tonight.
Thank you, guys, man. Thank you all, man. Big win for us tonight.
I like all that tailgating you got going on over there, man.
Yeah, man. We had we actually had to redo homecoming. It was supposed to be week 3, so we had homecoming today, and it was our first home game for the whole season. So, man, a lot of guys, they were excited. Parents showed up. The kids showed up, man. It was a great atmosphere out here.
Well, look, we have the first the first drive on tape here, and man, I tell you what, it was as good as it gets. And then, Dutchtown came back with a good drive of their own. But tell us a little bit about it. And, you're running back big time. It's not easy to tackle.
Yes, indeed. Well, we actually been having a two-headed monster all season long. So we definitely wanted to come out and run the ball, try to establish that line of scrimmage. Maybe challenge our offensive line all week long. So coming out, being able to reset that line of scrimmage, and those were some of the things that we had to do up front. And man, those guys came out. They brought the energy out to the game from the very start of it. Our quarterback, that just committed today to Purdue, came out. He had his coach on him, so he was fired up. And man, that they just came out and played with the intensity that we needed to start the game off with.
I came back around the sidelines, so I was on y'all's sideline, and I looked at Jimmy, and I said, their O-line is rolling right now. You found something off the left side, and you were rolling your backside guard up and kicking, and then you would base that backside in. So he didn't know where they were coming from, but you found a lot of space over there on that side.
Yeah, we saw to the short side where we were putting that hip guys, they were overloading to the wide side. So we just was able to run that power where we were logging that in and pulling that backside guard, and we were getting out there, and our running backs were able to get behind those guys, and those guys were getting such a great push, man. All they had to do was just find the hole and just hit through it.
Coach, do you realize your first 3 scoring drives in the half were 89, 91, and 88 yards?
I do remember one being way back there. That punt didn't feel the punt, and they bounced all the way back there. But like you say, we was able to sustain drives. We was able to finish. That was some of the things that we definitely been preaching on and hounding on all year long. I mean, we played U-High, played Zachary, gaining 400 and some yards on both of those games. We just couldn't find the end zone when we needed to. And this game right here, man, we came out and was able to finish those drives.
I talked a little bit in the pregame show, Coach, about one of the things that I thought had hampered y'all is offensively you really hadn't played a 4-quarter game. You've played well in spurts, and then you played poorly in spurts. But tonight you seemed to play well throughout the whole, at least the first half that we saw, and obviously you finished it off in the second half.
Yeah, that was the thing. Being able to put the ball in the end zone, and that's what we saw in the first half. Being able to get 3 scores there, and not waiting later on to turn it on and to play. And we only really got 3 drives the second half, and one of them we was able to, put together a 5-minute drive to end the game. And that was another thing that we worked on, being able to be in those positions and not giving the other team back the football and being able to just run that time out. So that was another big thing. That was a big key for us too, being able to see moving forward.
Jimmy, their offense puts defenses in bad spots because it's like you pick your poison. If you're going to put 5 in the box, we're going to run it.
Right.
If you choose to put 6 in the box, we're going to throw it. And that's just a credit to your whole offense. But, we can't disregard your defense because I know they came up with a big stop there in the fourth quarter around the 6-minute mark, I believe.
Yeah, they and I feel like our defense been playing really stellar all year long. Holding the opposing offenses to limited yards over there, and they came out and did it again. But we challenged those guys. We knew Dutchtown had been hot all season long. Dylan Sampson been, the last 2-3 years he's been the rushing leader for the whole state pretty much. So we knew we were going to have our hands filled, and we had to bottle him up and contain him. Now, we couldn't shut him down, but we definitely was able to contain him a little bit, and that's exactly what we needed. And like you just said, in the big play at the end in the fourth quarter, being able to stop those guys on 4th and 1, I've seen our defense do that multiple times too this year, and they stepped up again for us.
I talked with Brent Broussard, the defensive coordinator over there, and he knew going into this game they were not going to be able to shut Dylan Sampson down. But other than his one play of about 70 yards at the start of the third quarter, they did a really good job of containing him, and he earned everything he got. I don't know what he ended up with in the third and fourth quarter, but it was a heck of a job by Coach Broussard's defense over there. But it was our first time to see Ricky Collins in person for myself. I thought he was very poised in the pocket. He's didn't look like he's a scrambler. It looks like he's willing to stand in the pocket, take the hit, quick release, cannon for an arm. Talk about his commitment to Purdue.
Coming in this week, I know. Well, we really even prior to this season starting, he was high on Purdue. They were high on him. They were definitely wanting, him to be their guy that they were going off of. But then he ended up putting it to the side for a little while, and then he just thought that this was the time to go ahead and make that commitment. I think that's a great place for him. Coach Brum and them have showed him all the love and all of the support that he's been looking for to take his future to the next level. And he wanted to go ahead and show them some love back.
So, guys, we talked to Marcus before the game, and of course, I said, anybody said anything to you about the Bluegrass Miracle? He said some things, and I said, were any of them born in there when that happened? He's like, nope. it shows that time flies and we're getting older, right?
Yes, indeed, man. It looks like the play never really gets old. It's just that we getting old.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Thank you for joining us tonight. And look, Travel, I think you play Santa Maria next week, so that's another district game. So good luck to you, and big win for you guys tonight.
Thank y'all guys, man.
All right, man.
And Todd, one other thing I thought stood out in this game, and this was the one thing that'll drive Coach Mastretta crazy, is I thought Woodlawn was more physical than Dutchtown was tonight in the first half. And that's one thing the guy Mastretta hangs his hat on, and he tells his team pretty much every game, one of the last things he says to them is make sure you out-hit them tonight.
You know how you said with Central that game versus U-High would make them better, and it has. You wonder, going to West Monroe and playing U-High, those type of physical ball games you may not think they help you right then and there, but it makes you play at a different intensity level.
They're 1-3 going into tonight. Their losses was to U-High, West Monroe, and Zachary. I mean, that's 3 pretty dead-gum good teams.
You're right.
And, the expectations were so high. I was talking with Brent Broussard yesterday. This week was the first time since week 5, 6, and 7 where they've played 3 weeks in a row since last year. I mean, they've been hit with the COVID, the hurricanes. COVID showed up again this year. They missed games with Warren Easton and Jesuit. Their schedule was brutal.
Shout out to Coach Elmo Fernandez, seeing him. I'm sorry.
Last year here.
Yep.
He's retiring, he said. Good for him.
Well, congratulations again to the Woodlawn Panthers. They roll on with more scores, more coaches, and our thoughts as well in this week's 6th edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Before the top of the hour break, we're going to join another Victoria's head football coach, joining the GMFS Mortgage Hotline. Lutcher head football coach Dwayne Jenkins joins us now. Coach Jenkins, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on your win tonight against St. James.
Thank you. It's always good when I get a phone call from Jimmy to come talk to me.
Oh, we appreciate it, Coach. Coach, before we get into the game, what's your all situation down there? I know y'all had mentioned maybe having to play some afternoon ball games. What's it like right now?
That's what we'll be doing for our home games. We'll be playing in the afternoon. Next Friday we'll have it was supposed to be our homecoming, but we had to bounce that one back a couple weeks. So we'll have our senior day, I guess. We'll play next Friday at 3:30.
Oh, wow. Okay, so no Saturdays.
Nah, well, not this week. Berwick was more than accommodating. They wanted to play on Friday too, and their principal agreed. So we playing Friday at 3:30.
Awesome. Well, Coach, talk about the game a little bit. Of course, obviously it starts with Dwayne Winfield, big stud quarterback you got. Had another big night for you.
Yeah, Lunch is tremendous, and that's what we call him around here. Nobody knows him by his real name, Dwayne. He goes by Lunch, and he is the ultimate leader of men, and that's what I've been telling everybody for 2 years. He's a special kid, and he's going to make some college coach real happy one day because that's what he is. He's what our program wants everybody to aspire to be. He knows it. He knows that those expectations are on him, and he knows that people watch his every move, and he's embraced it. And our team rallies around him. And he's a huge story every week, and I think he's some kind of way he's flown under the radar. But hopefully a game like this on this stage, now everybody gets to see what we've been seeing now for a year and a half.
Our right-hand man, Skip Cottrell, was over there checking it out, and he told us your first 3 drives were 80, 98, and 80, and you were up 21-0 at the beginning of the second. He was a big part of that?
Oh, he's always a big part of it. Well,
no pun intended?
We mixed it up a little bit early on, throwing the ball, hitting some short passes and things like that, and then him and Cleveland Parquette, our standout junior running back, got going, but everything that we do right now, it starts with our offensive line. They're the heart of this football team. They're the hardest working guys on this football team. They've been playing for 3 years. We got 3 3-year starters on our offensive line. We got another guy who would have been a 3-year starter, but he missed his junior year because of injury. We got the kid who replaced him played all last year, so he's just 2-year starter. And we got another guy. We got 1 sophomore, so we play 5 seniors and a junior on our offensive line, and all those guys at least have started 2 years for us. So they're the heart and soul of our football team, and we challenged them tonight to play a physical brand of football because we knew it was a big game, and we knew they were our leaders, and they answered the call early on.
Coach, you've had some tough luck losses in the last couple of years. Is this team back to the Lutcher standard, I guess you could say?
I think that's the thing. You do this long enough, you get your fair share of those close wins, and it just seems like we had over the last couple of years that we lost games on the last play of the game 3 or 4 different times in the playoffs. In this year, I think this team, maybe there was some doubt last year at times about where this program was going, but I think our kids believed in what we were doing. And when we played Jennings in the second round last year with the team that Jennings had last year, being one of the top-ranked teams all year long, and we lose that game on the last play, 50-49, I think everybody knew what we had coming back, and that off season we can put the work in, and we could do something and maybe put some people on notice this year, and our team set off of it. And we talk a lot about our offense because we go back to the first round of the playoffs last year. This is the first time in 6 games that we were held under 50 points. Besides that 50-49 loss. So we scored 49 in 1 game, and we've scored 50 or more in every other game since then. But our defense tonight set the tone. I think we limited St. James to 14 yards in the first half. So while our offense was grinding out long drives, our defense was getting 3 and out. So we wanted to establish and maybe send a little bit of a message because we feel like we've been playing pretty good football to start this season. We think we had a pretty good team coming back, and maybe nobody was recognizing us because of some of those tough losses that we've had over the last couple of years.
You talked about some of the guys that highlight your offense. Do the same for your defense because obviously you mentioned they're doing a great job.
Yeah, well, up front we've got some seniors on our defensive line, and that's one of the special things here. I've been here 17 out of the last 20 years, and I don't think we've ever had a class of seniors that are just so deep on the front lines. And on our defensive line, it starts with our senior, who's a 4-year starter, Carter Poche. He's been here. He's been a guy who started for us since a freshman. He's one of those guys up front. Makai Love, who's a senior, finally getting his chance, and he's proven to be a dominant force up front. Ty Cooper, hopefully we can continue to get him healthier and healthier. This was the first week he really played. He's coming off of a ACL injury last year. And then we got some guys that are just stepping up. We've got some good high school football players, and you saw some of that tonight with Matthew Garon, who plays an outside linebacker for us, or Kai Brown, who's a sophomore middle linebacker linebacker for us who continues to play and gets better every week. And we got some big turnover. We got a big turnover tonight from a junior cornerback, Creighton Long. And so it was a great effort by our defense tonight.
Well, Coach Jenkins, we always appreciate your time here on the Scoreboard Show. Congratulations on this win, and best luck as you guys get ready to play Friday afternoon.
Well, I thank y'all, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all again soon.
Thank you, Coach Jenkins, and I'm sure the atmosphere down there in Vacherie was rocking tonight. I'm sure. That's what high school football is about. St. James Luxury, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, and you hope for a fast recovery in those areas because, man, River Parish football is certainly some of the best in the state. We'll take a timeout. When we get back, we'll be speaking with head coach over there at General Trust. Torino Wells will join us as they get another win and remain undefeated on the season. So really great conversations ahead, as well as our check-in with the Acadiana area and Ben Love. More on the way on this Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Welcome to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. You know, I'm just realizing the Open says from the Jamborees to the Superdome, but I guess we should include UL Lafayette's Cajun Stadium. And
we'll be in the Dome that weekend.
Okay,
so
true. Fair enough.
That's correct.
That's where we are. And we are glad you are tuning in to us tonight, whether it's CST, whether it's the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or on the radio on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Lots of great scores to get to. Man, definitely want to look forward to having Ben Love on in just a couple of minutes, because Karen Crow had a nice comeback win over a previously undefeated Turlings Catholic team. And then General Trask remains undefeated. Coach Torino Wells will join us as they continue a very nice run and get ready for a big-time matchup in a couple weeks with Mangum. So look forward to that conversation in just a bit. Let's get you caught up on scores. We'll go around the state and start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Woodlawn defeats Dutchtown tonight 27-14. Central of Baton Rouge 34, Denham Springs 7. U-High a 42-6 win over Bruley. Liberty 21, St. Michael 14. Zachary over Live Oak 54-21. Southern Lab shuts out Faraday 49-0. Lutcher a 41-19 winner over St. James. And Scotlandville a 46-34 winner over Walker.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Captain Shreve over Benton tonight 48-35. General Trask a big win over Delhi Charter 62-6. Manny shuts out Winfield 50-0. Sterlington 28, Union Parish 12. West Monroe 28-14 win over Alexandria. Ouachita 20, West Ouachita 7. Oak Grove a 47-14 winner over Delhi. And Ruston shuts out Pineville 41-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Southside defeats Sulphur tonight 34-21. Barb over Sam Houston 49-35. Westgate a 41-13 winner over St. Thomas More. Karen Crow 60, Turlings Catholic 30. Sacred Heart defeats Catholic Point Capiz 36-12. Grand Lake touchdown better than Oberlin 27-20. Notre Dame 47, Welsh 7. And St. Martinville 3 points better than Abbeville 27-24.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Country Day over St. Martin's 49-26. Brother Martin over Archbishop Rummel 45-14. Destrehan blanks Central Lafourche 49-0. Edie White blanks Donaldsonville 41-0. John Curtis 37, Archbishop Shaw 16. Hanville 31-0 winner over Thibodeau. De La Salle and Landry Walker play tomorrow at 2. Edna Carr and Warren Easton play tomorrow night at 7:30.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
North Shore defeats Fontainebleau 41-20. St. Paul 35-14 winner over Covington. Ponchatoula 37-21 winner over Mandeville. St. Charles blanks Lakeshore 22-0. West Feliciana 43-33 winner over St. Thomas Aquinas. Archbishop Hannon 40, North Lake Christian 7. Kentwood a 41-6 winner over Independence. And Slidell over Hammond 34-28.
Thanks to Skip Cottrell, getting our scores read and posted on Twitter. You can follow us there at Louisiana Prep and find all the finals from week 6 here in the Louisiana Prep football season. And we jump back to the GMFS Mortgage Hotline and now are joined by another victorious head coach Torino Wells of General Trask, as they get a 62-6 win tonight over Delhi Charter. Coach, congratulations on the win, and thanks for joining us for a couple of minutes here tonight.
Hey, thank you guys for having us on tonight. We really appreciate it.
Coach, I didn't know this city existed, but since it's close to Halloween, you how far you live from Transylvania?
It's about 10 minutes outside of Lake Providence. You have to pass through it to get to Lake Providence.
What goes on there? Not much?
Not much. Not much goes on. We have a gas station, one of the best in the world. They get the tires fixed and everything. That's pretty much what got going.
Coach Wells, how long have you been at General Trask? What was your first year?
It is my 7th year. I've been there since 2015.
Okay, so Todd, going back to 2015, because that's the year I went back to. They're 0-10.
Mm-hmm.
2016, 0-10.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 0-20. Then you start seeing a turnaround: 4-6, 7-3, 6-4, 5-2 in the semis last year. Here they are, 6-0. So this is not only a coach that stuck with it, but also a community and administration that knew they had the right guy and they let him do his job.
Coach, and you trusted yourself too, because when you go 0-10 or what, some people start doubting it, but you had a vision and you saw it.
Well, one of the things that happened in going 0-10, we I ain't gonna say fortunate, but we was able to make it to the playoffs going into the 32 seed. And a lot of folks were saying, "Coach, y'all should go in and get badly make it." I said, "You know what? We're gonna use games as box." So we went in and played Manny 1 year, Kinder 1 year, Welsh 1 year, which was a solid ball for us, and they really handed it to us. But one of the things that we got out of those games is that we saw what a playoff atmosphere was like, and just told the guys, we're going to be able to do that one day, but you're going to have to buy into working hard. And they've been doing that over the past 2 years. And our coaching staff has been doing a tremendous job as well.
Did your success, because I saw you were posting a lot of things about the field and some upgrades going on around there, and that has still a lot to do with probably your success, right?
Yes, sir. It's a chance to go to Chamber of Commerce meetings and just talking about the football program to different individuals. Our football field was in bad shape last year. We got to play St. Helena playoffs in the quarterfinals, and the principals kind of objected to the football field. And so I just tell the coach, if we don't play the game, just say you're scared, you don't want to play. And so most times you pull a man's card like they're going to respond. So we was able to play the game, but it was in a bad condition. We started talking to people in the community. They jumped on board. Our school board jumped on board. We was able to get a new start to play on this year, and it's doing a tremendous job of holding up for us.
Coach, you have an electric quarterback in Wydette Williams. I know it's hard for us to find some information on y'all up there, but I was able to pull up a little bit of huddle film on him, and he looks like he's electric. And another one I want you to talk about is your offensive coordinator, because I don't know who it is, whether you do it or someone else does, but y'all do a lot of things. Todd, you would love their offense. They go spread, they'll go twins, they'll go trips, they'll go empty, and then they'll come out with 2 tight end I formation. So they're doing a lot of different things, very multiple.
Yeah, my offensive coordinator guy by the name of Matt, and he does a great job of game planning and getting those guys in position to be successful. He comes in every week with a game installs on Monday, so I teach the kids what he's expecting, how he wants things to run, and the kids execute. But he does a great job of breaking down film and dissecting opposing defenses, and we've been having success for the past couple of years with what he's doing.
Could you repeat his name, please, Coach?
Max Pennington.
Okay. All right. It kind of broke up there for us. And talk about the players Jimmy was mentioning.
Wydette Williams is our quarterback. He does a great job, but he'll be one of the first people to tell you he can't do anything with that offensive line without his offensive line. Davian Williams, kid Johnny Thompson, kid Jarish Barr, kid Javian Williams. We just have a kid Warren Walker, kid A.J. McMurchant. Those guys are doing a tremendous job of making holes for Wydette and the running back get through the holes and for him to have time to throw passes. So hats off to his offensive line, who's doing a great job of playing great football for him.
And so I'm sorry, Coach, but you're 6-0. Who do you got next week?
We're playing a Faraday Charles. Faraday.
One more time?
We're playing Faraday High School.
Gotcha. All right. Every now and then it kind of breaks up. I'm sure that, there's plenty of cell towers out there in Transylvania.
Not a lot of them.
Hey.
When they go down, you don't have the right phone service, but no service in East Carroll Parish. You don't have the right.
Hey, how was your popcorn fundraiser?
Man, it was great. I'm glad you guys told me about it, man. We made pretty good money off of it. It was an easy sale, an easy thing for us to do. The community jumped on board with buying popcorn galore. Some folks bought popcorn and gave it to our first responders in the community. It was just a great thing. I'm glad we came across that fundraiser. It helped us out a lot going into the season.
I gave mine to nobody. I ate it all, and you can tell.
I didn't want to say, but I ate mine. I didn't do much. They donate mine to nobody.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time tonight, and congratulations on another big win, and good luck the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we'll be back in touch with you come playoff time.
Tell your kids good luck to it.
Thank you guys so much.
I thank you.
There you go. It's
Transylvania, dude.
Yeah. I was looking. I apologize. I got caught up looking at the map. There was a chicken restaurant, Sonic, and that tire place that he talked about in Pennsylvania. And I don't know. I mean, what's interesting is you see schools in remote places of the state that we just don't visit much, and really that's where some great high school football is, because the community is all about what's going on there. When you go down to some of these river parishes, when you got St. James and Lutcher, and they got mirroring communities and the crowds there, and it's generations of people there. There's just some special about communities like that, because it looks like they're there, and that there's not a whole lot for a good while,
right.
And that's the thing that's going on in that town.
One of the coolest games that I've went to as a spectator was when Peyton Manning and Newman came to Northeast and played out in Pride, and it was at the old high school. Doug Williams was the coach for Northeast, and back then, there were no raised bleachers. It was just low bleachers to the ground. It was packed, standing room only, cars parking down the main highway in the ditch, and it was lined by pine trees. And it was one of the best atmospheres for a high school game that you could go to. But you're right, those small towns, that is what they had to do on Friday nights. And
when you get over the Natchez, you hit Vidalia, you hit Faraday, you hit Sicily Island, you go through Mangum, huh?
North.
Start going north, you get Mangum, and then you can either go back before Mangum, you can either go towards Tallulah, or you can go towards, like
Monroe,
I'm pointing
maybe?
up here, or towards Monroe, yeah. And they got towns, it's the biggest speed traps in the world going through there.
Oh, yeah. Lake Bruin's up that way.
Yep. That's
Lake Providence, been to all those places fishing.
and those are all off of the Mississippi, right?
Oh, yeah. Lake and Carter's and Faraday, yeah. Ben Love probably knows all about them.
I bet he does.
He probably fishes a couple of those spots, and we'll talk to him next here on this Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy jumping on the GMFS Mortgage Hotline. Ben Love joins us, our Lafayette area correspondent, after a couple of big plays had Turlings Catholic out to a quick lead. It was a comeback from the Bears, and really they got up and held that lead and got away with the win. Coach, what can you tell us about this performance tonight by the Bears?
Cade, coaches, I got to tell you, I've never seen a game change that quickly in terms of momentum, and it felt like a mudslide was going against Karen Crow one direction, and then they sent an avalanche of Turlings the other way. Turlings was going in with about 4 minutes to go until halftime for a touchdown to lead 30-13, and Karen Crow had no chance of stopping them to that point in the game. A snap on a shotgun snap went past the quarterback over his head. Karen Crow scooped it up and went 80 yards in the other direction. That was the beginning of a 41-0 run for Karen Crow. Every time Turlings had the football, they either fumbled it, they threw interceptions. The split-back veer attack from Karen Crow came to life, and suddenly you look up, and it's 60-30, and that was a game you thought they'd be down 30-13 25 minutes before. It was pretty remarkable.
What was the course of time that 41-0 period run took place?
I would say from about the 3.5 minute mark of the second quarter until very, very early in the fourth quarter. So probably legitimately about 15 or 16 minutes of game action.
So the wheels came off.
Completely and utterly. I'm serious, in a way that I've never seen it. 4 straight possessions of turning the football over for Turlings in the third quarter, and that doesn't even count that scoop and score from 80 yards I just told you about in the second quarter.
Gee, and as a coach, you're helpless.
Oh.
Knowing what's going on, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's a crazy game. Up to that point, were you impressed with Turlings take away the turnovers in the first half early in the game?
Very, very impressed. They've got a sophomore quarterback, Preston Welch. He wasn't supposed to be their son. Won the job, the senior that they had decided to just concentrate on baseball. And, boy, this kid's good. I mean, he's 6'1", almost 6'2". I think if, that size can carry him through. After tonight, I know his arm strength can. So they've got a nice offensive attack. But what I'll tell you is this, and I'll make it quick. I think the non-district schedules that the two teams played showed itself out when the rubber met the road tonight. Carencro had played at Ruston versus Acadiana. They had played some teams with some metal. And I think some of the wins that Turlings got probably didn't test them quite as much.
And again, go back to that schedule. You just mentioned they're 2-3. They're the best 2-3 team in the state. Those teams you just mentioned, they lost by a combined 8 points, one of them being in overtime. So Ruston down to the last play of the game, and Acadiana came right down to the end. So
you may know what was the Westgate STM score?
Bad.
The last I saw in the fourth quarter, it was 41-7 Westgate. I can tell you that
41-13 was the final.
41-13. Their quarterback, Westgate's quarterback, Jordan Doucette, he ran for 2 touchdowns that I saw and threw 2 more to Danny Lewis, just a dynamite tight end who's a Cincinnati commit. And if everything holds form, that's going to be your District 5 4A championship. And, guys, it's the final week of the regular season. Westgate at Carencro, week 10. So that could be a lot of fun.
Now, you mentioned Jordan Doucette. They got Brendan Landry back, who was a 3-year starter, played a little bit last week. Did he play any quarterback? 'Cause I know Coach Antoine said he would be perfectly happy with playing both of them the rest of the year, felt comfortable either way.
I can't tell you about the playing time split tonight. I just know every time I looked up on social media, Jordan Doucette was either running or throwing for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Who's the Crow Bears have next week?
Carencro plays against Northside. Turlings travels to STM in that same district. And look, I'll tell you this, too, about the Carencro schedule. They've got, obviously, STM and Westgate ahead, 2 difficult games. But sandwiched in between is a visit from Brother Martin to the open-air Crow Dome. So second half of the season should be interesting.
It'll be interesting for Turlings Catholic, in my opinion. This is going to be different for Coach because he's going to get them to be able to get over this and get back to playing the brand of ball they're capable of. And, hey, just because you have a quarter and a half of bad football, as bad as it was, that doesn't define your whole season. So he's got to get them to be able to move on. And sometimes that's not as easy as it sounds.
The team that's hurt the most from personnel losses last year, in my opinion, is St. Thomas More, and it's more defensive than offensive. And what I saw from Turlings' offense tonight, they're going to be able to move the football against that St. Thomas More defense. If they can capitalize with touchdowns, I think they've got a good chance of winning next week.
St. Thomas More going into tonight was allowing 35.2 points per game, and they give up 41 tonight. So, yeah, it's more than losing Walker Howard over there on that end. I know a game that you probably don't know a whole lot about tonight, but one that catches my eye, Loreauville moves to 6-0. Terry Martin's done a heck of a job over there. They beat Catholic High School in New Iberia 34-0. I don't know what's going on with Catholic High of New Iberia. I know they still have KK Reno. They haven't been able to score. One of their wins were by forfeit. They're only scoring 12 points a game. I don't know what's going on, but Terry Martin at Loreauville may be part of the problem because those communities are close, and he may be getting some of those guys who used to would have
easy
went
up, Shouts.
No, I'm saying heck, they can go there for free.
Are you saying recruiting?
No, he's got kids in his district.
Oh, okay.
I think, hey, I'll tell you this. If I could settle a score, I think Coach just threw a bullseye. I think that the kids are going to play for Terry Martin, and from everything I've heard and seen, I don't think there's anything illegal or enticement going on. Terry Martin's got a heck of a track record, and he's pulling some players, and he knows what to do with them.
I mean, I don't know exactly how close they are, but they're right there. So a lot of kids who had been going to Loreauville started going to Catholic of New Iberia. They're starting to get them back because they got a good product.
There may also be a reason why Brent Indes isn't coaching there anymore, too, correct?
Correct. That's right.
So they're not close enough to where they would have the same, Loreauville. Because I think at some point we have to explain how that works. We're the same district
Right.
You know, and we're mirrored districts for a Catholic school and a private school. But I'm sure Catholic New Iberia probably shares it with New Iberia High School, Nish.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yep.
Or Westgate. They're all right there.
Well, Ben Love, we appreciate your time as always, and look forward to talking with you next week.
Have a good weekend, guys.
There you go, our Lafayette area correspondent, Ben Love. And before we get to break, I know Coach Todd wanted to recognize some people that do some real good coaching outside of the football field.
There's a group, Matt Mistretta and Nick Snyder out at Total Diamond Performance. It's these are unique guys. They have the video aspect, but they also have the aspect of where they're working your core. They do a little bit of everything. And my son Jackson was able to work with them this past summer, and I saw the improvements that he made over the summer, and they're just getting started. And as you can see, it's Total Diamond Performance. And you'll see they were working on Jackson getting his front foot down before he makes a swing. And that one was the result of a lot of hard work. But when I asked Jackson, I said, hey, what is it makes these guys different? He says they keep it simple. They work on one thing, and there you see their names, Matt Mistretta, Nick Snyder, individual lessons, group lessons, do video technology. And the mental aspect, Coach Mistretta majored in sports psychology. So if you want to hit like Jackson and be developed, go see those guys. Total Diamond Performance out at Ascension Parish, where Ascension Tiger Cages are. And so you can get in touch with them out there. Their Facebook page is Total Diamond Performance, but they do a great job, and highly recommend them just from what I've seen with my son.
You know, interesting. You don't get the perspective from the video we played of the sound of the contact Jackson makes on that hit. Man, that's solid.
Well, and that's one of the things they said that they liked, and Jimmy knows more than I do. But when you get it, I guess just right,
that sweet spot.
It sounds a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sound. So cool. We appreciate the team over at TDP. Let's take a timeout, and we'll get back. More scores, our full scoreboard, and some final thoughts here coming up in just a bit on this Week 6 edition of Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm.
We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back North Airway off of Airline Highway.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal.
The Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, served by Walk-Ons.
Woodlawn defeats Dutchtown 27-14. Central over Denham Springs 34-7. U-High a 42-6 winner over Bruley. Liberty 21, St. Michael 14. Zachary a 54-21 winner over Live Oak. Southern Lab blanks Faraday 49-0. Lutcher over St. James 41-19. And Scotlandville over Walker 46-34.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Captain Shreve over Benton, 48-35. General Trask, 62. Delhi Charter, 6. Manny shuts out Winfield, 50-0. Sterlington over Union Parish, 28-12. West Monroe, 28. Alexandria, 14. Ouachita, 20. West Ouachita, 7. Oak Grove, a 47-14 winner over Delhi. And Ruston shuts out Pineville, 41-0.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, strengthened by Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Southside over Sulphur, 34-21. Barb, 49. Sam Houston, 35. Westgate over St. Thomas More, 41-13. Carencro doubles up Turlings, 60-30. Sacred Heart, 36. Catholic Point Capite, 12. Grand Lake, touchdown better than Oberlin, 27-20. Notre Dame, 47. Welsh, 7. St. Martinville, 27. Abbeville, 24.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Metairie Park Country Day, 49. St. Martin's, 26. Brother Martin, a 45-14 winner over Archbishop Rummel. Destrehan shuts out Central Lafourche, 49-0. E. White blanks Donaldsonville, 41-0. John Curtis over Shaw, 37-16. Hanville blanks Thibodeau, 31-0. De La Salle and Landry Walker play tomorrow at 2. Edna Carr and Warren Easton, Saturday, 7:30.
The North Shore Scoreboard, presented by Livingston Parish Councilman Gary Talbert.
North Shore, 41-20 winner over Fontainebleau. St. Paul, 35. Covington, 14. Ponchatoula, 37-21 winner over Mandeville. St. Charles blanks Lakeshore, 22-0. West Feliciana, 43. St. Thomas Aquinas, 33. Archbishop Hannon, 40. North Lake Christian, 7. Kentwood, a 41-6 winner over Independence. And Slidell, 34. Hammond, 28.
Thank you, Skip. Getting our scores in here on this week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we look back at the New Orleans Bayou area and a couple of games we haven't quite mentioned yet. Brother Martin over Rummel, and maybe the score or the win is not so much surprising, but Brother Martin continues to kind of roll inside the Catholic League and has done pretty well.
Yeah, 45-14 winner over Rummel. They had 4 games in the state that matched up 2 undefeated teams, and this was one of them. Now, Brother Martin has struggled early in the year, scoring 8 points, and then
it was an 8-7 win, huh?
Against East Ascension. Then they had a triple overtime win over Jesuit, I think it was, where it was 20-14, but it was 7-7 half. So they really hadn't scored. But in the last couple of weeks, they turned it on against St. Aug, scored 45. They scored 45 again tonight against Rummel. Their quarterback, Garrett Mahat, missed last week with a shoulder injury. He was supposed to be back this week, play some, also play with Clayton Leonardo. But the biggest thing that Coach Bonus had said this week was this is the first time that he'll have his full offensive line as a go and as a unit, and I think that's the biggest thing to it. And Rummel's, although they were 3-0, their 3 wins have come by a combined of 13 points. They've been struggling. They're young. They benched their quarterback last week in the third quarter, sat him for 3 series. To his credit, kid came right back and led him to the game-winning drive. So Rummel's young. They're going to be fine. But Brother Martin's probably the class of the Catholic League right now. Curtis will have something to say about it.
We had somebody call about and asked about St. Aug and Jesuit.
St. Aug, Jesuit, big win, 42-12. Jesuit's pretty good. Ryan Manally's doing a great job in his first year coming over from De La Salle. Quarterback is Jack Laravera. Huge week last week, almost perfect, 13 out of 14 for a couple 100 yards. Their only loss was, like I said, to Brother Martin. They've only given up, going into tonight, 14 points in regulation play. So they're not only are they good on offense, they're very good on defense also.
A classic tomorrow in the New Orleans area, Carr and Warren Easton. So a classic in the making. Could be something really
very
cool.
well could be the first matchup of 2.
And it's been, 4 years in a row, 2 in the Dome and 2 in the semifinals, I believe.
think they've played 7 times in the last 4 years, and Carr has won all of them. But the point differential is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So, yeah, that's going to be a good one tomorrow.
If Coach Phillips kicks the ball, that boy, Aaron Anderson, is that the thing? We already had a discussion about this. He said
now, hold on. Carr also picked up Jalen Lucas from Terrebonne.
That's right.
Who's almost as dangerous as Aaron Anderson. And then on the flip side, Warren Easton has picked up 2 defensive linemen that are supposed to be highly recruits out of that Houma area. So
Hahnville got a win.
Hahnville got a win.
Coach Laquette.
Coach Laquette. Covington would have win. St. Paul's would have win over Covington. You know, St. Paul started off the year, Cade, losing week 1, 41-2, right after the storm to Zachary. Since then, they've been playing lights out. Last 3 games, they've only allowed 23 points. Mandeville, Ponchatoula with a 37-21 win. Coach Hutch Gonzalez over there at Mandeville's having a tough go of it this year, going to 1-4. Hank Tierney gets win 292, closing in on that 300 win. Bunch of 3-year starters for Ponchatoula. Of course, everybody knows Jacoby Matthews. He's a 5-star that everybody is in the state or in the country is after. Nolan Tribble's been doing a good job. Defensively, they're allowing 5 points a game, and I think they have a pretty easy schedule on that side. I don't see anybody touching them.
Well, y'all going to think I'm crazy, but Carver, they had held everybody. They had 3 shutouts, and tonight McMain scored 8 on them. And, you always the guy compared his defense to maybe the 2013 or the 2017 defenses, and they didn't win state like when Coach Frank Walker was over there, or Wilson. And but, they're a good school.
I talked to a referee who had them last week against, I think it was LB Landry, and the 2 touchdowns that they gave up were both interceptions for touchdowns. So, yeah, for them they've given up 6 on the year. That's when you're 4 or 5 games into the season and you haven't given up a touchdown, you're pretty good. moving up north, Cade, big news up there was obviously West Monroe. I'm calling it an upset over Alexandria, even though that was the 99th straight district win for West Monroe. 99 straight.
And Alexandria beat them in the playoffs.
Last year. Yeah. So one thing that I'm going to comment on
Go
real
ahead.
quick is Jerry Arledge, again, the coach up there at West Monroe, throwing stones at a couple of the schools. He did it at Catholic High, accusing them of recruiting. He goes after Thomas Bachman at Alexandria, talking about he's doing a great job of not only coaching but recruiting kids. He's on TV saying this, so the video's out there. I don't agree with it at all because it's the pot calling the kettle black. You're talking about a team who held back kids for years and years, got transfer after transfer. Todd had his numbers where before 1980 or whatever,
93.
Before 93, they had 4 All-State players, and all of a sudden there's hundreds of them.
And here's the difference, and especially what Arledge needs to understand is Rapides Parish is an open enrollment parish. They're not breaking any rules.
Rapides meaning that's where Alexandria is.
And he does, to his credit, he does say that. He said it's legal there. They're not breaking rules, but you're just crying about it. Quit crying and go coach.
And the thing is when you say recruiting's legal, recruiting's never legal, and that's my problem with his verbiage there. But he, it's like the private schools. The private schools they're not breaking any rules. They're doing exactly what they're allowed to do. And when the association came up, they made a rule that said, going back to West Monroe, they made a rule that said, hey, you can't hold back kids. Well, that's my argument with these other. Instead of complaining about it and whining, why don't you come up with a solution? And there might be some coming up around the corner.
So, to me, open enrollment is the ability of the parent or the student to make the best decision for their child, right? And we always talk about where, if you're not a fan of sports or if you're an administrator and you don't believe in high school athletics, this is why football, baseball, basketball, softball, whatever you excel at is the biggest promotional tool for your school. Because, okay, yes, the recruiting aspect is not what we want, but it's the idea that if your school is successful in these sports, it's just another flag to wave that say, hey, your kid can come here and we're successful and we're doing things the right way. So if Coach Bachman and them are doing things the right way and they're just putting up that flag every single week, that's just another chance for a school to see them. And if the school, if parents want to send them there and it's above board, it's with the rules, I don't see why not.
And the job he's done is attracting those people to come there.
That's right.
This is not.
They ain't going to Pineville.
This is not a first year.
Transylvania.
Yeah, this is not a first year deal by Coach Bachman. He's been there 6-7 years now, and you could see him slowly getting better. This is a hell of a coaching job, if you ask me, by Coach Bachman. So get over it, man.
What do they say over there? Alexandria. No.
For those that are listening, Lafayette Parish and also Orleans Parish are open enrollment parishes. And at one point, I think Bossier was. I'm not so sure that they are anymore. But this open parish thing, they split in 2013. And the membership comes back in 2014. And they had open enrollment for every parish. The problem was, like parishes, let's take Ascension, for example. Let's take Livingston, for example. Is they didn't use parish boundaries. They used their normal boundaries that they would. Well, you look at East Baton Rouge, they used parish boundaries. So it was the most ridiculous thing because they were complaining about private schools, and they turned around the next year and opened it up, and they were still facing the same thing. And then I think it was the following year they went away from it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyway, congratulations to West Monroe on their 99th win. We didn't want to get that far off, but
yeah, we did.
Anyway, so another one up there, Todd. Calvary 45-6 winner over Homer. Both of those teams were 1-1 going into it tonight.
How'd the old boy throw the ball?
Landry lit. I don't know what he did tonight, but he's leading the state right now with over 1,600 yards and 19 touchdowns. Their only loss was, I thought, obviously Calvary played a little tougher schedule, haven't played
Rummel.
Mm-hmm. So, and Coach Lee Doty up there at Sterlington, they just continue to win. They go to 6-0 with really an impressive 28-12 win over Union Parish.
I think it puts them 20-1 in district since they've gone up to 3A.
Yeah, their only loss was to Union last year, 35-14. Coach Spatafora for Union Parish, it was his first game back. Had a suspension for the last 3 games. He got his personal foul tonight also.
Well, I can't blame him when he got that. He was at Manny, and
yeah, this game here, Todd. Though Union Parish, obviously it was a close game, but Union Parish had played a pretty good schedule. Their losses were to Captain Shreve and Washita by a combined 4 points. They had a good win over Manny. They'd played a much tougher schedule, but Sterlington is a team that is just year in, year out consistent. When you talk to people up in North Louisiana, they talk about Lee Doty as one of the top coaches up in that area.
Well, look, in back-to-back weeks, I think it was it Trevor Etienne that plays for Jennings? Is it Trevor?
Jennings, yeah.
And they held him to 144 yards, but they win against Jennings, and they turn around and hold Holly to whatever, but another impressive win. So their defense has got to be pretty respectful as well.
Absolutely. Captain Shreve, I don't have the final four. I know they beat Benton tonight.
Ruston
moves to 6-0, and Benton will be 4-1. Yeah, Ruston with another
win over Pineville.
Big win, 41-0. Central. We got to mention Central.
Big rivalry.
Big rivalry game. We hadn't mentioned them the whole night. I know Coach Weiss and Coach Edwards and Coach Hilton will be upset with us if we don't mention 34-7 win over Denham Springs, and this was the 74th game, and that series has been really close. It's always been called the A-Meat River Bowl. I don't know if they still call it that, but listen how close this was, Todd. 35 wins for Central, 34 for Denham Springs, 4 ties, and over 74 games, only 16 points separated those two teams. So,
of course, quarterback Reese Mooney for Denham was out, and Jimmy, I wanted to mention too. I mean, there was 2 undefeated teams. Zachary over Live Oak.
Zachary with a big win. They're setting up a big showdown coming up in 2 weeks with Scotlandville. I'm not sure where that game is, but I think Zachary may have Denham Springs next week, and it's going to be tough with Coach Brett Bearden and those guys. They're turned to a freshman, Jerry Horn, who I've heard nothing but great things about. But it hurts when you lose a kid like Reese Mooney, who is a SEC type of quarterback. So, and thanks to Mr. Robert Graves. I know he is always a loyal listener of ours, does credible stats, especially with Denham Springs High School, and he gave us the information on the series.
Zachary hosts Scotlandville at the end of the month.
Is that 2 weeks away?
Yep.
Okay. That's going to be a good one.
So we'll take a time out. We'll be right back to wrap things up here on this Week 7 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Cox Sports Television.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Do you have or have you had COVID-19? Antibody screening or rapid molecular testing can tell you. Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours offers both with results from molecular testing in minutes. Learn more at lakeurgentcare.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the
Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 6 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Lake After Hours Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we wind down tonight's show. Look ahead to Week 7. Don't forget you can join us Sunday nights at 6 for Louisiana Prep Weekly. This Sunday in particular will be live from Walk-Ons in Town Center. We're always at a Walk-Ons near you. This week, Walk-Ons in Town Center will be our home, and we invite you to come on out and see us there. Great food, great atmosphere, plenty of TVs, and plenty of ice-cold beverages and delicious food while we are there. And it's a great place to be throughout football season. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever you want to take the friends, take the family to Walk-Ons. Did we get a West Side final?
Oh, yeah. West Side 51, East Side 23. They played MetLife Stadium up in New York. They play Westwood Broncos next week for homecoming.
Oh, so it is homecoming next week.
We might have to get Mr. Bonan in for that one. Another one, Natchitoches Central here, 37-6 win over Southwood tonight. But the story behind that continues to be the job that Coach Wilkerson has done up at Natchitoches Central. They were 0-8 last year, and here they are 6-0 with a huge win last week over Bird. So he's turned that program around. So
speaking of,
congratulations to him.
Great stories from last year. I think Grand Lake got another win tonight. They really kind of continued that success and that run from last year.
People buying into that veer that he runs, you know. It takes time, and with all they went through last year and having to drive an hour to practice and not having a school basically left, I mean, it was incredible.
You know, 1A's got 4 undefeated teams remaining. 2A has 8, including a team you mentioned, of Voiles, earlier in the year, and how they don't punt. And we tried to get him on last week, but never heard back. But that's an interesting concept, and he's really turned them around.
Yeah, 3A had 13 going into tonight. How many do they have now? Have you been able to pull it up?
3A's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. remaining.
So that went from 13 to 7. 2A had 9. Now they're down to 8.
Iowa is a big one in 3A that's continuing to win. Church Point's bounced back with another. I say bounce back, but they continue their winning ways. 4A has got 1, 2, 3 left, and then 5A has got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left.
9. Okay, so 4 of them lost tonight. Roma being 1.
Mm-hmm.
Live Oak being 1 for sure.
Touchdown in Alexandria.
Yeah. So it's dwindling down. It's next week, Todd, week 7, people will start paying attention to that power rankings. That's when coaches really start. I think it's too early, but you're going to start seeing posts on the bulletin board and all that, and coaches will be figuring it up and looking at the computers and all that those kind of things. So it's getting close, man. It's getting close.
Week 7 already. That's time flies. Blueberry miracle, bluegrass miracle.
Bluegrass miracle. What do you guys? Is it going to be a miracle tomorrow? Do they come away with an easy win?
I think the Tigers win tomorrow.
You heard it here first.
Yep. And again, before we go, JT Curtis, man, what an
congratulations.
Awesome 600th win. He was on our first segment of the show. If you can go back and listen to it, I think Todd will post it on YouTube.
Yeah,
and on
Taylor
demand,
isolated, so the individual video itself will be on our YouTube channel, 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel, and we have it on demand at 104.5ESPN.com and on our mobile app. We'll see you next week on